The three-row crossover market is hotter than ever. Toyota just released its Grand Highlander with multiple powertrains, very efficient and powerful ones at that. Hyundai doesn't want to be outdone in the segment that it has been dominating the past few years with the Telluride and Palisade. News is coming out of Korea saying that the new Palisade is going to be a tough one to beat. Over at Korean news site ET News, Hyundai Palisade follow up the LX3 in 2025. That is the code name for their next generation Hyundai Palisade. They're saying that prototype development in the second half of this year, and there will be a simultaneous release of internal combustion engine and hybrid. Finally, Hyundai, Kia getting the hybrid. I mean, Hyundai makes great hybrids. Just watch my recent review on the plug-in hybrid Santa Fe, even the standard hybrid Santa Fe and Tucson, Sonata, etc. And the Kia counterparts are all fantastic hybrids. And I can't wait for their largest vehicle to finally get a break in fuel economy, because the Telluride I just tested not that long ago was maybe 20 miles per gallon. So the goal is mass production in January 2025. So we'll be waiting about a year and a half at this point for these to come to the market. And what's crazy with the recent refresh of the Telluride and Palisade, you would think that they would have been further enhancing their lead and their dominance in the three-row crossover market, but that's not the case, because Mazda's just come out with a fantastic three-row crossover, arguably my favorite, with the CX-90 with a plug-in hybrid inline six. You have the all-new Honda Pilot, you have the all-new Toyota Grand Highlander, and I'm probably missing some things as well. So this segment is so competitive. It is a lot of fun to see, and I can't wait to see what Hyundai comes out with. And it says, while developing the new Palisade, Hyundai Motor Company is launching two types of hybrid electric vehicle along with the existing internal combustion engine model. Okay, so this third generation platform from Hyundai, hence the LX3, has improved livability and better space utilization, and it looks like it has a longer wheelbase. This says Battlefield, so obviously that doesn't translate from Korean very well, and axis distance, so it should be a little bit wider as well and longer. And the main powertrain is a 2.5 liter gasoline hybrid under development by Hyundai Motor. We haven't seen a 2.5 liter hybrid by Hyundai yet. We have the 1.6 liter turbos and the 2 liter hybrid that we see in like the Sonata hybrid, but no 2.5 liter hybrid system yet. But that would go well against the Grand Highlander's 2.5 liter system. And we'll get into the spreadsheet where I break down these upcoming powertrains as well. So don't worry. Anyways, the existing 2.2 liter diesel is highly likely to be discontinued due to stricter emission regulations. We never got the diesel here in the United States. That's mainly for Korea and probably Australia. And the 3.8 liter gasoline engine is going to be changed. Naturally aspirated, downsizing, not to a 4-cylinder like the Grand Highlander, for example, but to a 3.5 liter gasoline turbo. Heck yeah, that sounds like a direct competitor against what Mazda has with a 3.3 liter inline 6 turbo. So without further ado, we need to get on over to this brand new spreadsheet. Smash the like button for the new Palisade and this new spreadsheet. If we're to believe the Korean media, the 2.5 liter hybrid on the left, as well as this turbo 3.5 liter V6. This one is a little bit more speculation than the other two. The article doesn't mention a plug-in hybrid, but it says two different types of hybrids are launching with it. So, I mean, if they're both on the 2.5 liter, that makes sense that one of the 2.5 liters is a plug-in hybrid. So here are the numbers I'm expecting for this inline 4 naturally aspirated. They could turbocharge it, but I was looking at the numbers, it would just be way too powerful. It would be very similar to Toyota's Hybrid Max, which is not a bad thing, but definitely not a base powertrain. So here we go. 250 horsepower would be my guess. I don't know what they're going to do with the transmission. In theory, with a larger vehicle, you would want to have an 8-speed automatic, but who knows? They might just carry over the 6-speed automatic we see in the rest of their hybrids. Over 30 miles per gallon, I don't think is a stretch here. I should be able to carry over at least 20 cubic feet of cargo space behind the third row, towing around 3,500 pounds. But the plug-in hybrid here will be pretty darn exciting. And maybe Toyota has a plug-in hybrid by 2025 of the Grand Highlander Prime, for example. But we just don't have any confirmation at this point from Toyota, but it's logical to think that they will in the future. But this will directly go against the CX-90 here with the 2.5 liter plug-in hybrid setup that they have. So I'm expecting around 300 horsepower, which would go well against the Mazda's 323 horsepower plug-in hybrid. Torque, I'm not quite sure. I'm just guessing around 300 pound-feet of torque. Again, it could be more. EV range, I think they'll outdo Mazda here with having over 30 miles of range, putting a larger battery pack than what we see in like the roughly 13 kilowatt hour plug-in hybrid Santa Fe, for example. So maybe they give it a 20 kilowatt hour battery pack and maybe getting closer to 40 miles of electric range. When that range is out, don't be surprised if we see still over 30 miles per gallon, which is impressive for such a large vehicle. Towing should be about the same, or maybe even less compared to the normal hybrid, because with the big battery pack, it will weigh more. Now, what is going on? This is potentially a new powertrain for Hyundai and Kia here with a 3.5 liter V6 turbo. You might be thinking, Kirk, Hyundai, Genesis, even the Stinger had a twin turbo V6 in different, either the 3.3 or the 3.5. Is it possible we could see a twin turbo V6 in here? I guess, but all the times we've seen a twin turbo V6 in a Hyundai and Genesis has been a longitudinal platform. Where the Telluride and Palisade, the engines sit transversely. So I don't think it'll be the same setup. I think it'll minimize just to a single turbo. And that should be good for well over 300 horsepower and well over 350 pound-feet of torque if I'm being conservative. It could be more than that, but 375 horsepower from a twin-turbo V6 just seems unlikely and maybe too unrealistic for a vehicle like this. So single-turbo hybrid is what I'm expecting. 8-speed automatic, low 20s miles per gallon. Think of it as a trade-off of the current 3.8 liter V6. But this will have the strongest towing capacity of the bunch from Hyundai and Kia. So it might creep close to the Grand Highlander's pure efficiency when you're talking hybrid to hybrid. And Hyundai should be able to go toe-to-toe in some ways with the hybrid max 2.4 liter turbo hybrid in the Grand Highlander as well. So these numbers could be boosted so that they compete better with the Toyota Grand Highlander at the top spec. Honda Pilot is just, tried and true, very simple 3.5 liter V6. I guess it's a brand new engine from them, but they're not doing anything out of the ordinary here. I really think Honda needs a hybrid for their large platform vehicles. We just have no evidence of them working on it. All we have is a 2-motor hybrid with a 2-liter 4-cylinder. So we'll see. I mean, maybe they come out with a plug-in hybrid, but I don't know. I don't want to get my hopes up for anything from Honda. They've just been extremely conservative lately. And then the Mazda CX-90 is also a big target. They have a big target on their back right now. And we'll talk about Mazda sales as well as all these manufacturer sales here in a little bit to see how they're doing after the month of May has just wrapped up. This is just some of the competitors that I have. Obviously, there are far more 3-row competitors. These are just some of the best, in my opinion, from Honda, Toyota, Mazda going against Hyundai and Kia, also some of the best out there. But I wanted to go over sales real quick from the manufacturers after the month of May and the year to date. And it's very hopeful if you're in the market for a new car this year. I just made a video recently. I didn't want to make essentially the same topic, but availability is skyrocketing and the sales are reflecting that. And the volume and availability will get better and better as the years go on, especially for most of these automakers. All right, Acura is up 112%. Not hard to do when they completely belly flopped in the year of 2022. So the 5 years months change is not that impressive, but look at the May turnaround for Acura. Honda, same thing. 5 months turnaround up 18%, but the month of May turnaround 53% up. They're going to keep crushing it the rest of the year. Genesis had the best month ever for May, or should I say the best May ever, selling 5,600 units. Overall up on the year about 20%. Great to see Genesis crushing it. Hyundai as well, crushing it. All these manufacturers, I'll just say I'm not going to say crushing again because abuse of the word crushing it. Hyundai up 18%, but they're only up 16% only on the year. That's because Hyundai and Kia have weathered the storm with the supply chain shortages better than just about any other manufacturer. If we look at Kia, up 23% on the month of May, up over 20% for the year so far. They are slaying it. Mazda, what the heck? Mazda has more than doubled their sales compared to May last year. They just dropped the ball in May. If we look at the year so far, they're up 20%, but May they absolutely slayed it. Subaru up 28% for the month of May, which is a big improvement for the 13% gain they're seeing so far this year. Lexus is finally seeing some volume, up 25%. They're up 16% on the year, but parent company Toyota, it's going to be a slower turnaround for them this year. They will get to double-digit gains, but it's going to take the second half of this year. So late summer, fall, and then early winter 2023, we're going to see Toyota turn it around. They have projected that. And yeah, look, they're down 6% on the year so far, but we're finally seeing the positive come in. And a big part of why Lexus is doing so well, I really think Toyota is like apportioning battery packs for their hybrids as well as other necessary components to make sure the Lexus, the higher profit models, are being available to sale over, or should I say they get the first priority over some of the Toyota models. So, but that's all I have for you guys. I know it's a long video. There's just a lot of news I wanted to cover. I'll be leaving Monday to drive the Integra Type S, and I'll be going straight from Santa Barbara to Austin to debut for you guys the Lexus TX and GX. And then I got some upcoming Toyota stuff coming June and July. So stay tuned for all that juiciness. But if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much. Appreciate you. Subscribe if you're not. That helps me out. And I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.